Welcome, Christian Metal Group. We're back again with another great interview. I'm Jimmy, and we got Jay over there. We're part of the admin and moderator team for the group. Today, we are interviewing Angelo Torquetto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is with a
yeah.
band called Torquetto.
Yes.
Uh, pronounce it for us correctly one time.
Torquetto.
Torquetto. There we
Torquetto.
go. Awesome. And you're located in Brazil. We have the honor of you being our first video interview out of Brazil, out of South America or Central America. So that's awesome. We're
Amazing.
almost we almost been around to all continents now, right, Jay? We
That's
got
right.
one or two
We're
left.
real close. Real
Yeah,
close.
that's pretty awesome. Asia, Japan, well, that is
Hmm.
Asia. uh, all over Europe. Have we had hit Australia yet?
You know what?
I don't think so.
Wow, we gotta hit Australia.
We're trying to get an interview with one of the bands down there that Carl knows, so
Hmm.
it just hadn't happened yet. Well, anyways, Angelo, we're glad to have you on. Thanks for taking the time out to speak with us. So tell us, did you grow up in a religious home?
Hey, man. Yes, I did. I grew up in a religious home, and but as we were talking before, I grew up in a street that everybody used to listen to hard rock songs. So I got influenced by both the religions and also my street that everybody used to listen to. So I grew up with that, and it was a really nice thing. And yes, and I'm here since. I've never left.
Cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well, I guess that partially answers the next question about. Well, let's talk about your upbringing as far as music. Did you grow up in a musical home? Any of your family play instruments or sing or anything like that?
Yeah, man. I did. My father, he's a keyboard player. He plays piano too. My mom plays acoustic guitar, and she has like 6 albums recorded in her time. Like,
Cool.
yeah. It's like normal Christian praise songs, old style.
Yeah.
And also at the church I used to go. I grew up singing. And it's not like a choir. It was like a group of kids, and we used to sing some songs they were actually bringing from us. It was I think I remember like a kids praise album, something like that. It's really old school things. I don't know if you know that. There is a really funny song called Wawa Song. That's yeah. We used to translate those songs, and we used to sing in the church. I remember that I was one of the main singers in this group, so I had some parts that I had to sing solo, and so I grew up with these things and watching the musicians at the church playing. In I tried guitar in that time, but I didn't like much. I liked really way more of singing and playing soccer at the street. So this that was my childhood, but it was influencing me when I got to a time like when I was a teenager. I remember my father bought me. It was, man, in that time was really hard. He bought me like a Squire. I think it was by Fender in that time. It was a Korean one. Um, so I started to learn how to play guitar, and at that I started to listen to more metal, to more bands and other
Yeah.
guitarists like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, and so it made part of my life in that time. So yeah, so my family influenced me a lot in music, also the church.
That's awesome. What are some of your first memories as a teenager of metal bands that really got you? And you started, what was your first couple few that you really liked?
Y'all did when I was a teenager. I think Detroit Rock City was one of the
There we
first
go,
that
Kiss again.
yeah, man,
Every
Kiss, man.
every
It's
time.
yeah, it's part of my life. I can't deny it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I have vinyls here. I have Detroit Rock City, Hot in the Shade. I have Creatures of the Night. These are my favorites.
Well,
So what I don't buy everything from the bands like some people they have collections and all. I just buy what I like. I
yeah.
think Kiss is one of the greatest band of rock in the world for sure.
Right.
And
Nice.
if
Have you ever
if
got have you ever gotten to
we're gonna have a problem if you say it's not. I'm just kidding.
have you ever
No,
gotten to see them live on tour in Brazil?
no, I've never.
Oh,
Never.
okay.
Man, look, it's not a lie. The last times they were here, I was touring. So
Oh, wow.
You know
I
how that
didn't
is.
have how
But
to watch them.
but you should have been touring with them. See,
Oh
that would have
man, I
solved
would
that
love
problem.
that. I would love that. It would be amazing. I think I would play just two or three songs and stop to watch them then because I I really like Kiss. I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
for sure.
Kiss. Yeah.
Like everybody we've interviewed, or almost everybody.
Oh man,
It's
impossible.
it's probably I don't know, maybe 90% of the
Yeah, yeah,
interviews,
like
it's like Kiss is always the gateway into rock and metal, like
hmm
almost every time.
Yes, yes, man. And then of course there's there's Queen that
Oh
also
yeah,
made
absolutely.
part of my life too. Freddie Mercury was incredible, man.
Mhm.
It think when I listen to the guy until today, I say, my gosh, God gave a really nice voice to this dude.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I think he's the best voice in rock and roll. I mean,
yeah,
it's
for sure, man, for sure. But I like other bands too. Like here in my house, my wife, she's fan of lots of bands that I like too. Rush, Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, those bands.
that
The,
makes
the
that
the only one we're not like much alike, like I like, but it's not something that really part of my, how can I say, if I'm gonna put this in a plate, my dishes is Pink Floyd. Don't kill
Yeah,
me.
I
You know,
understand.
but
No,
I
no, you're not the first to say that. I mean, I like some of their stuff, but some of it gets too experimental, and I can't really get into it. But
Yeah, I never got into them that much. I love, ironically, their pop song, the one that they really went big on the pop charts. Definitely
yeah,
by far my favorite Pink Floyd song, "Dogs of War." It's
oh,
Dogs
okay.
of War. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I
they
thought that
are
was
nice songs, man. Like I'm not saying that that's not, but
yeah, no
um,
worries.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
never could get
it's
into it.
not gonna catch me. I listen to
Mhm.
sometimes because my wife she loves that, and I don't complain. Better to listen to this than some other kind of songs.
Country
Right,
music.
I love their right,
Man,
exactly.
man, look, I'm Brazilian, right? So
Mhm.
I'm not American. And look. I'm gonna say what I work here too. Like,
Okay, go
I'm
for
an
it.
English teacher here for Brazilians.
Okay, cool. I was going to talk about that in a little bit too.
Oh, that's
We're
awesome,
going to
man.
discuss this.
I'm not, of course, I'm not native, and my English is not perfect. Impossible to be. I wasn't
Right.
born there, you know. But I do my best, Mister. But talking about country, man, I am an egg producer. So I raise here half chicken. So impossible I say I don't listen to country. I do listen to country.
Oh, okay.
Alan Jackson. Yeah, yeah. I listen to that.
Who,
The
who's some of your
Judes.
favorite?
The
Who's some of your
Judes.
favorite country artists?
Alan Jackson for sure.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah. Then the Judes. Gonna say this both are my favorite. You know.
Well, what about Billy Ray Cyrus? Did that ever make its way
I
down the?
I like that. But
Yeah.
I just say these two, the Judes and Alan Jackson is my top. I'm gonna say I like
Okay.
them a lot.
Now,
As I
now,
say, like in Brazil, probably we get like some things, that you in US doesn't like much, but for us, like, and you have like these redneck songs here, like in Brazil, but the Brazilian redneck songs we have,
right.
it's totally different. It's played with a different guitar with 10 strings, and they
Interesting.
yeah, 10 strings, and actually the tune are different and the chords are totally different. And there is we call this pagode de viola. That's totally different too, and I love that too. Some metal guys here say, "I can't believe you like rock and you
Yeah.
like this same man," and I say, "Yes, I do."
Hey, we like what we like. I mean, so how has that country love of country music influenced your writing or your musical style?
Man, I think country music is not something that influenced much in my music style of writing or something like that. It's just something that I like to listen to. You know, I'm a ranch guy.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
fair.
this. I like this. I use hat. I walk here. I take care of my ranch. I live in a ranch here. So this is something that it's part of my life because it's part of my life. But what I like about music, my music, what I like to do is hard rock. I love that metal and everything.
Yeah,
So no, I doesn't. I don't have any influence to write or something from country. Maybe without realizing that, But if you're gonna ask me if I have the intention, I don't, you know. But there's a band that influenced and still influenced me a lot. Extreme.
Oh, Extreme, yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
ballad band, right?
Gary,
Yeah.
what's Gary's last name? Sharon or something like that.
Yeah, Nuno Bittencourt, I
No,
think the
that's
guitarist.
my Sharona. Is that no?
Not
That's not.
Sharon, no. Oh man.
No, that's the Kinks I'm playing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually, if I'm not mistaken, he actually did a short stint in Van Halen singing with
Yeah,
him.
Well,
yeah. He's actually had a pretty interesting music career, isn't it? Is he
Mhm.
a believer too? Right?
I think so,
I
actually.
think he's
I don't
in.
know. I really
I
don't
think
know.
he is.
I think I
He's
had
in
heard.
Rock Stars on God that Doug Van Pelt did, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
if my
That's
memory
that's
is correct.
something really nice to know. I didn't know about
Yeah, I'm pretty
This
sure
is
he is
yeah,
a believer. Yeah,
yeah.
there is a lot of believers in the secular world. People just maybe do know about or don't know about, but there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I imagine it as man. United States it's like most part of Protestant. The religion, I think, that's the main religion in the U.S. is are Protestants, right? The guys more than Catholics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah, so this I think it influences a lot. That's why we have I think that. But in Brazil, it's like we have more Catholics than we have Protestants.
Of
We have
course.
lots of Protestants, man. It's huge, but
That's
the Catholics here they are still predominant. About that.
oh yeah. I
You know.
think that Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, like South America, the um, the percentage of Catholics in South America definitely are a huge contribution to the population of Catholicism over the world. Like Catholicism is still the biggest
Yeah.
denomination in a lot
Yes.
of that.
Yes. I think the Catholicism like is what it is because of South America today.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you take South America, I don't know what the rest left in Europe.
Hmm.
Because man, I toured in Europe and I also did lots of missionary works there. And I don't know now, but the last time I've been there, it was really rare to see the church like working. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like working, like
Yeah,
the
we've
mass.
actually we interviewed was it Stephen from Convict not what was the band Convictions of a Traitor.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Confessions of a Traitor, sorry, Confessions of a Traitor. And he's in London. I'm like, "What's like the Christian music scene there?" And he's like, "What do you mean? Like there's like nothing. Like it's such a foreign idea for them there." But yeah, to
Right.
your point, it's totally different.
Yes, it is. It is. And I saw churches there in that time, like becoming cinemas, you know. So it's something that you don't see here in the South America. I don't know in US, but in South America, it's something that it's impossible. It's really huge, Like, so when I saw that, I said, "What's happening here?" You know. And yeah, that's something weird. But here in Brazil, we have lots of good Catholic bands too, you know. No, I'm Protestant,
Yeah, yeah, for
but
sure.
my we have like a friendship with lots of there's a guy he played in Sepultura, Eloy Casagrande.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we're
yeah.
familiar.
Playing with Slipknot now.
Yeah, Eloy Casagrande, he was from a band called Yahweh,
Hmm.
here we say Yahweh Yahweh, how do you say in US?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh, yeah. So
Kind
in
of
Brazil,
pronounced the whole. Yeah.
yeah. Here we say Yahweh in Brazil. It was a really great band, and then he left to play in Sepultura. But this Yahweh band, they are Catholics. I
Oh,
think
nice.
yeah, it's a really good band. Really
They
good band.
still are they still playing?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Actually, the guys they split. Like one went solo, and so the Catholic Church support these guys here. But they are always in the scene with us. Like there is no much division about the concerts when we talk about this. Of
Hmm.
course, we have different things about believings, and uh,
Yeah,
everything. But when about concerts and being together as Christians, sharing about Jesus, we agree.
I I think that that's becoming more normal in America. It's like the Christian music scene here, which Jay I know can. I mean, he's been in the music scene for
Hmm.
probably 20 years, right,
Hmm.
or longer.
Absolutely.
And it's the Christians had like a it's Christian music, it's a Christian band, and it's kind of a Christian bubble, and
Oh yeah.
um, but over time, I mean that was really prevalent in the '90s and some in the 2000s, but now I think it is more accepted for bands just to play together, and
Right.
hey, we're here for the music, and if there's an evangelist part of their music, that's fine, but don't think that all bands are going to be like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, not all band,
A lot
of
of
course.
debates, of course, about that too.
Yeah, I left two bands because of that. Because, for example, I was there to man. I love the guys. They are amazing, great musicians. Some of them, they are how can I say, they are doing a really nice job in the church and Presbyterian church and other church and everything. But there was a point. There was a band called. I used to play with a band called Doomsday Hymn. It's a really nice band. If you don't know, guys, you should check on this. This band
What
is really
what
good.
type of music?
It's metalcore, you know.
Okay.
I used to play with seven strings guitar at that time,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just came back to the six better. When you get old, you forget numbers. So
Oh Lord, really?
Right, right. So you're not moving to an eight string.
yeah, for sure not, man.
Oh man, so you don't see what you do? You sell your seven string, or you still have it somewhere?
Oh no, no, man. I play a seven string if you get, but I don't have any here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any yet. When I signed with with Ibanez, I started with seven string guitar. Then I came back to the six and stayed, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do. I play six strings guitar, and to me is enough. If I wanna play harp, I would learn another instrument. So it just
That's right.
just kidding, man.
Yeah.
We do these jokes here among us, among the
Oh, there
guitarists.
we go. There we go.
Yeah, just us and all 50,000 people in the group. Nobody else.
Oh, that's a good thing. So I'm home.
Oh man. Yeah. So of course, so you do vocals and you do guitar. You play any other instruments?
Man, I play bass, but I'm not a bass player. I play keyboard, but I not. You understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know the chords. I know, but you say, do you have the feeling? Do you have? No, of course not, man. That's why when I'm, for example, when I started with Torquetto, when I left these two bands that I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
because just me was preaching the gospel, and it was hard, because you have a group, but just you preaching the gospel, that makes no sense. I was feeling alone, and it was getting heavy, and I said, man, enough. So I stopped touring. I stopped everything, and I said, I have some hard rock songs. I'm gonna write something. So I did. So this bass I recorded, and you can see that it's a guitar playing. It's a
Yes.
guitar player playing that.
Wow.
But the last ones, I asked, to some guys to record the bass, put some new ideas and everything. Now I have a band. Now it's not Torquetto anymore. Now we have the guys. We are writing together, thinking together. I even ask guys, do you mind to stay with my surname? There is a problem. They say no, and I said, if you want to change the name, we change the name. We start all over. That's okay to me.
Well,
I'm not attached to.
I
these
mean, I
things.
think I like it. You've already kind of built a name for yourself, and I mean, as far as people recognizing it, and it's kind of a unique name. So, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think
what they
it's not a
told me.
bad idea.
Yeah, that's what they told me. They say, man, because actually, I just when I recorded, I said, what the heck, the name I'm gonna put in this project? And a friend of mine, I used to work with him, and he said, man, Torquetto is nice. And I said, oh man, it's my surname. If one day I think about building a band, they're gonna think they're gonna play to me. I want a band to, that's not the idea. And
Yeah,
anyway, in the end, I found the guys. They like the idea. They like the songs. They are writing. Actually, we are writing a new album now, and they are adding too much to this, and I'm really happy about that. It helps
man,
a
that's
lot.
awesome. That's so good that you found some like-minded people that really want to help you with the band
Right.
and
Right.
be actually a part of it and all. Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't have like the ego of the Ingve Malmsteen, it's not like that type of band,
Oh
right?
man. But I have your age. We passed through a lot. We learned. The
That's
maturity
right.
comes. We change. God changes us.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
Jesus in our lives changed everything.
Yeah, I mean, if it's real, it's going to change, right?
Yes, if
Well,
it's real, it's
well,
gonna change.
give us a short history of so when you left the two bands and you started making your own music. How did this band kind of form? Did you already know these guys and how did this band actually form?
Yeah, this band were formed when actually I used to play in a band of a hardcore band here for years. So people know me a lot in Brazil because of Desertor, that is a crossover band. And I wasn't a guitar player; I was a singer.
And
You
what
know,
was the name of the band?
Desertor. All
These are
right. So yeah, Desertor, and did, so people in Brazil kind of know me because of that. And after that, nobody knew I was a guitar player, but the people that used to live with me. So they knew I was a guitar player because I was always writing some songs and doing things. So this band, Doomsday Hymn, these guys invited me to play with them. And one of the guitarists that used to play that cutting, he's a really great friend of mine until today. He's amazing, great musician, great producer too. He produced the Doomsday Hymn album, the first
Oh,
one.
nice.
Yeah, the guy is good. And if oh man, call Angelo. But Angelo plays guitar. He plays guitar, man. So I started to tour with these guys, and I wasn't singing, just playing. But when we got to the concert or something, we don't have these things about going to the stage, hey Jesus, and then call people to come in front or something
Sure.
like the old style thing. We don't do that. But we go down there, we talk to people, and I share the gospel. But there was some moments that it happened, and there is something that happened in Bolivia. We were touring in Bolivia, in I remember it was in Cochabamba, the city we were playing, and the singer just said, "Man, I don't know why, but say something." And I said, "What the heck? Like here from the stage? Yeah, say something. I don't know. Say something." And all right. So I talked something about masks, like there, like, "Hey guys, this song here it talks about something about masks. Like everybody wear masks. It's like you wear masks to find to look for a job. You wear masks to get into a group. You wear masks for everything. You are wearing a mask." And sometimes when we get home, you're too tired of wearing those masks. But we never take this off because we are afraid to show who we are.
Oh, that's true.
So I said, but there was a guy that he denied to wear any mask in his time, and he was killed because of that, because he was who he was, and he was killed by the religion in his time. He was killed by, so I used this idea by the religion so people could listen to me, and they started to say, yeah, the religion is bad, or this kind of things. I said, yeah, the name of this guy in the history is Jesus Christ.
right.
So the same guy is asking you to take off your mask, because in front of him, he will never reject you, whatever you have done.
Yeah.
And
Good.
that was what I said. And we played like two songs more, and when I finished that, some people came to talk to us, but there was like a couple of guys, and the girl just jumped on my neck, and I pushed back and I said, "What's happening?" When I saw she was crying, the guy was crying, and I said, "Man, are you okay?" I said, "Is everything okay?" They say, "Man, I can't anymore. I need to take off my masks. I
Interesting.
need to take off my mask." And I prayed with them in that time.
That's amazing. I mean, God can use anything, man. That's so good.
Exactly. So they stage to me something like that. When God says, "I want you to say here," you say here. If you go down there, you're gonna say down there. So we need to follow what the Holy Spirit is
That's
saying.
right.
Yeah,
Staying in
but
tune. Yeah.
exactly. Man, if I gonna stop here to tell you stories about the tours I did, it's too much. No kidding. Since I was kid, I was 16 years old. As we were talking before, there was like lots of people in my house that was being to Christ when I was kicked off from my church because of rock and roll.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Because you listen to rock and roll, they kicked you out of the church.
Exactly. They kicked me out of the church because of that. And
Hmm.
so, but I started to walk with the guys with their rockers in the high school, and I started to preach the gospel to them. And I remember until today, the first guy that converted, it was into my room because we were talking, we were listening to mortification in that time. I was
Yes.
showing him some things. Yes, it was, I think, mortification, the album we were listening to.
Yeah, self-titled
Listen.
self-titled album.
Yeah, we were listening to this. And then I said, man, can I tell you something? And so I started to preach the gospel to the guy in the way I knew. Of course, today we have a baggage. Today we have more knowledge. If I sit down with some atheists to talk today, I have lots of arguments. But I didn't have nothing that time. I just have Jesus,
Hmm.
and that was
Hey,
enough.
that's all you need, brother.
Exactly.
That's
you
right.
know, exactly. And the simple gospel, man, it transforms. And I remember it was the first guy that he converted to Christ, that God touched his heart somehow. And I
Hmm.
said, what is happening here? And I was young, man.
Well, I love that because if the church, and being a building of people in a specific building, the church, not as a whole, but if they don't let a rock and roll metalhead into the church to hear the gospel, how else are they going to hear it except for you being the church to go out and tell them, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like man, I didn't expect that. And after like 6 7 months, I had, I don't know, like 18 people in my
Wow,
house,
that's amazing.
and I didn't have a church. And it's like I didn't know there was a church. Actually, when Jesus says, if there's two or
Yeah,
three, in my name, I'll be there. So it was that I didn't have theological formation, graduation. I didn't have nothing, man. I just had what I learned from Sundays at the church, and it was really good. But it wasn't something solid, but was good enough for these guys, and for me too. Was a learning, and this kind of things happen in my life. So it reflected in the future when I was preaching, and this girl in Bolivia and this guy just came to Christ, and I talked to Alex, that was Axel. Sorry, the Axel was the guy that organized the concert. He organized in a secular place, but he was Christian. He is a Christian, and I asked him like some years ago if how those come. No, they're doing fine. They are with us. And I said that's really amazing, man. So we never know things that will happen.
Yeah.
We just let go. But with this, what started to happen is like it was just me with this head, and along of the time I started to see that it was getting even harder for me to do that, because it was like pushing, not because the guys didn't want. It's because they didn't think about it. The thing was playing, even they're gonna say it was not, it was, and I was preaching in the churches. I was doing the things, like we used to when we were touring. Probably some churches used to call us, so I was there preaching and sharing experiences and all those things. It started to get too heavy, and man, tour, this is not, I don't know in US, but here in South America, man, it's really hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard. Some trips is like 50 hours in a bus, 48 hours in a
Oh,
bus,
God, yeah.
32 hours in a bus.
Sounds brutal
So,
enough.
and it needs to be a bus because airplane is too expensive.
Oh,
It's-
wow.
Yeah, it's man, it's not simple. We did because we really like and really love music, and in my heart, in my case, talking about me, I can't talk about the guy's heart, never. I'm talking about the feeling I had and the experience about that.
I mean, I've heard that in Brazil people do travel for days to go to a concert, like, and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Man, when Striper came to Brazil for the first time, you have no idea. People travel all over the country to go
Oh, wow.
to watch these guys. It was amazing.
I have the DVD Live in Brazil from Striper, and you can just tell the energy in the audience. This is different. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we have metalheads here, but man,
Goosebumps me.
oh,
I'm gonna say that I am talking about. We talked about secular favorite band, but my favorite band on the top of the list is Striper. You know, I really like Striper a lot.
Yeah,
I know like they have their moments, they have many things they have, but this is Christian life, man. God works on our lives, and the sanctification on our lives is not in the day I maybe came to Christ. I came to Christ today, tomorrow I'm a perfect guy. It doesn't exist. I think the process in each life is different, and the process in Michael Sweet's life probably was different. I don't know the guy. I don't know. I just know the band. I follow the stories. You know, he had his book. He has his stories, and but is talking about the band to me, I think is the top on my list. Like your top three. Striper is my top one. I really like
yeah. I was
Striper.
gonna say when I heard your single "Unbound," it's "Unbound." I think it's the latest one. His voice definitely reminded me of Michael Sweet. Um,
Yeah, some people say
it
that.
reminded me of like it sounded like to me it sounded like maybe Michael Sweet if Michael Sweet was the front man of Queensryche or something.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
wow.
intend to that, man. I don't intend to. This is every time people says that to me, I say, oh my gosh, man, I have so little to get close to this guy,
Yeah, it's
because
a definite compliment for sure. It's a great thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, I really like it. But look, I'm being serious here. I don't intend to be the guy. Really, it seems like when I listen, when I sing or something, even me, I say, man, why is being this way? Maybe because I listen too much, or probably, maybe I don't know.
No,
But
it's a
I'm
great
gonna say,
it's a great thing.
I don't intend, but it's a really great compliment when people say that. I'm gonna say, you know.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, of course, everybody's influenced by somebody. So, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with wearing some of those influences on your sleeve, so to speak.
We have influence. It's impossible. Like you know, as Jimmy was saying, like, all right, I am the guy. I create my own stuff. I do my man. It doesn't exist. This is impossible. About music is this way, and nobody was born and learned to walk alone. We needed our parents. You know, we need our parents. We need the elementary school. Then we needed the high school. We needed the teachers, and then you go to university. You need the teachers again. That the music is the same.
Yeah, for
Impossible to
sure.
say I am the guy that created that. No, man. We had influence in every single area in the world to bring me to that.
Yeah. Well, like Jay brought up "Unbound." How has the reaction been to that? Your latest single and everything, reception for it.
Man, it was cool. In the beginning, actually, I produced the EP, like with 7 songs, but I wasn't experienced on that. So what I did, I did a really crap thing in that I like the writings. I love the writings. No kidding. I think it's really cool. It's like hard, heavy. It's something.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm doing now. It's like more funky. That's why I say I love extremes. This is what I wanted to bring. This
Yeah.
swing, this thing to the rock. Uh, but when I was producing and mixing, what I did, I recorded one guitar and I copied to
Yeah, like to
RML,
do another
and then I opened, but it doesn't open because I need to record it twice. But I didn't know because I never produced myself. I always was playing someone to do this kind of stuff. So when you listen to the album, you're gonna see that the drums it was made on 80 drum, because I was alone. I didn't have money to invest on studio or do whatever. And so because of that, I did all alone and I did all these things. So the drum is like stereo, but all the rest is mono. So you gotta listen. It bothers me a lot. I have no idea.
Oh, but that's part of your learning process. You'll get better. It's all good.
Yeah, but even that, man, people liked a lot and started to say, man, this is what you have to do. Because actually, I just put some ideas that I had and I said, I'm not gonna get it lost. let's just record this and put there, and that's okay. But it was nice, and I said, interesting. And then I started to record another single,
Mhm.
and another single, and another single. And when I released the last one, that was Unbound, we decided to do a really nice video clip. I don't know if you guys watched that. Um,
Yeah.
and I said, all right, let's do it. So these guys that were playing the video is the band. I formed the band.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I saw
And it's
you talking about the music video, right?
yes, we
Yeah,
came
yeah.
with
It's
Yeah, I
this
good,
saw the
man.
video.
music video too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was interesting, the story of this video. It's really, really hard to record that, man. We needed guys that really understand about the movements with the guns, and like how to save a VIP. They need to know how to do this. And thank God the bass player of my band, he's part of a group that they do this. You know. And actually they practice at the same place, like close to the federal police here in Brazil,
Okay.
so they are friends. And also, but these guys know, they do this kind of cosplay, but imitate. Yeah, it's not cosplay. I'm gonna say cosplay, but it's not a cosplay. But it's like airsoft thing, but they do not the airsoft fight normal. They do rescues, training, like the normal trainings. The guys is up there showing how to do the movements. Go here, go there, do this, do that. So the guys, they do this for a long time. So they say, man, we do this just for the fun. I say, are you serious? I say, yeah. So we built the story. The guy, we sent to the guy that was the producer, Jack Barros, that he recorded the video, edited the video and everything. And we did that. But it was really hard, man. It was an intense day recording that. We exploded, I think, 9 or 12 doors
Oh
to
wow.
record. So, yeah. It's
Yeah, that's
really,
awesome.
we really, yeah, one of the guys knew how to deal with bombs. So we really exploded some
Yeah.
doors.
Again, this is in Brazil, so it's okay. It's all
Right.
Yeah, but let me say, this is not allowed.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, even better.
yeah, like these guys in that place we were recording is a training place. They could do that.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because we did it in a place that could do place. But the explosion was a small explosion, wasn't big explosion. It was just a door explosion, to get in. But we did it. Like some doors, like it just went apart, like in many pieces. Some doors were just cracked in the middle, and it was really nice. But took a long time to record that. Was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So, you talked about being an English teacher. Um,
All
and
right.
I think before I even found that you were an English teacher, I definitely wondered, like in Brazil and even in other places, a lot of people seem to know English, and in America, sometimes that isn't reciprocated. I remember going to Canada right after high school for a jazz festival I was playing in, and I knew a little bit of French at the time. I was able to like talk to the locals more than other people, but I lost it over time. Definitely lost it. I knew some Spanish or whatever, but there definitely seems to, and yeah, I just want to talk about that. Just people seem to know a lot of English, like regardless if English speakers know other languages. So, like, what's up? Is there a certain pressure, like in Brazil and other places, to learn English in order to communicate with, like, say, Americans or the rest of the world, or what? In fact, I mean, I even think about like non-English speaking, like Norwegian bands or whatever, like a lot of the black metal bands and stuff. Like some of their songs will be in Norwegian, but a lot of them will also be in English, and they can't speak a lick of English outside of that. But they, like,
Man, but I gotta say something about English here in Brazil. Like, when the bands are recording in English, I say they should learn English. You
mhm.
know, like they should learn English, even to write some lyrics, or even to pronouncing some words. For us is hard some things. For example, but there are some phonetics that in English that you don't have in Portuguese language. For
Right.
example, RL, it's like girl or
Mhm.
world. You don't find this. So when people are gonna say world, they say word. No.
Love it. I
Yes.
love
So,
it.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna understand in the
Interesting.
context when they are
Yeah.
talking and everything. But like this kind of things, I work with them. Guys, we need to learn this phonetic because we don't have here in our language. So this I always split. I say, guys, say this were, and they say were. And now you say old. Now mix world, and they kind of start to
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, so this kind of things I do this here. But talking about that in English, most of the people here in Brazil, they look English because of the companies. Like there are really big companies in Brazil that's like international companies. They, it's a good salary, good stuff. So actually, I work just with this area, and most of my students, for example, I have lots of Mondelez students. Mondelez, they factor chocolate, and
Okay,
here
yeah.
we call Lacta the brand in Brazil, but it's a really huge brand in the world. So I have lots of students there because they want to grow the company and they need English for that.
Okay.
I have actually a student that is living in New Jersey now with her husband because the company transferred her and because of the English, man.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What age do you teach?
man, I teach actually any age. I just don't teenagers up. I don't get kids to
So do you
teach.
work for a company, or is this your own thing that you do?
No. This is my company.
Oh,
That's cool.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, this is my company. So I have the ag stuff because I
Yeah.
live in a ranch, and now actually what generates more money to me is English.
Yeah. So
So,
Yeah.
so it's not the band. It's not.
oh man, you know more than me that it's almost impossible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make the money from teaching to support the band.
That's right. It's
Yeah, man. Exactly, man.
the
Man,
old,
we take money from our home.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Oh yeah.
We do this because we love it.
It's the old,
God gave something to us,
Yeah.
Now we have to ask God to give us money.
yeah.
He
The
gave us
old
the talent.
starving
He gave us the
musician.
talent. Please give us money now. We need to keep going. Just kidding, man. You know.
Oh, that's good though, man. How long have you had the farm, and how long have you been teaching with your business?
Oh man, I do this for more than 10 years.
Oh, nice.
Teaching, yeah, and today it's like a really solid day things that I do. Like sometimes I don't have space,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I have lines for this. But for example, this last year, this government we have in here, it's been totally problematic. Like anyways, probably you've seen something in the news in US. So things are a little bit more difficult, and I'm still good, but not as good as I was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm gonna say, you know, and now I have some space, but there was a time that I didn't have, But I'm gonna say that when I was learning English, to me, if I tell you how I learned, you're gonna laugh, man. You
Oh,
are guys old school,
ahead.
right? I can
Oh.
tell that to you,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
remember Alf the extraterrestrial?
Yeah,
Remember?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I learned, man.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
loved that city. So
Yeah.
that series was amazing, and
So,
Uh,
so was cat your first English word?
yeah, probably. Man, I watched it so many times. So the thing is, like, when I started to learn, many things were too familiar. Of course, music and everything, but Alf was incredibly.
So, are you saying that you eat cats in Brazil? What are you saying here?
Oh man, I don't eat cats. Like, if Alf was here, probably he would.
Yes, yes.
With ketchup and fries. What I say. Ketchup and fries. You remember that? There was a joke he did, man. That's I think he called like an animal shelter, and they say, "Hey guys, do you deliver?" or something like that. And they said, "Yeah, don't forget the ketchup and don't forget the fries." Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
What did he call the animal shelter for that?
Dude,
For sure, these jokes for today doesn't work fine.
right, right, right.
Yeah,
Do you speak other languages outside of just those two?
Spanish.
Oh, you do speak Spanish too.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Portuguese.
Not a Spanish teacher, but
Right.
yeah, yeah. You know,
Portuguese, the
Uh,
official language of
Brazil.
yes, Portuguese. And some Americans they always say, "Oh, I speak Spanish." No,
No.
I say I do, but it's not my language.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I love this language too. Like, it's a really nice language.
really
I
is.
like the countries in South America, man. People were really nice. I think my favorite country is Chile. You know,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Argentina. Argentina is amazing too. Gonna say, I love Bolivia. I love Peru. You know, the people. You know, I like the
Absolutely.
people. You know, and these countries are nice.
We
Uruguay.
one of our moderators, Carl, is from Australia, and his wife is Chilean. She's from Chile, and so she has a very unique accent. They actually come here to. They're coming back this year. I've got to see them the last 2 years and hang out with them. They come up here, so that's a lot of fun.
Nice, man. Chile's amazing. If you guys have opportunity to go to Santiago, just do.
I've heard it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's an incredible city. I have some friends there, and it's good. It's good. You know, and we were talking about English, but you know, I never stepped in United States.
Oh, really? I thought you hadn't toured here.
No, I didn't. In Europe, of course.
Oh,
Not
okay.
here, you know.
What?
I had a story in Ukraine actually. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I played in Ukraine like in a time, and there was like it was I think 2013 with a project I had called Messianic Cry. I didn't release this on. Actually, you're gonna find lots of people that posted on YouTube, you know, the album, but it was just a project, and some people invited us. I was already in Europe and invited us to play, and I said, "Let's go."
Super cool.
So, yeah, and I had a really crazy experience in Ukraine, man. I love the Ukrainian people. I love those guys, but I had a terrible experience in
Yeah.
the country. Oh,
Wow.
That's-
yeah. The people wanted to charge me more than the things were costing there. Every place I used to
Oh,
go.
the
Every
tourists.
place.
Yeah, because you're tourists, right?
Yes, exactly. Man, there was a situation that I got like a biscuit. You know, it was 1 hryvnia. That's their money. You know, 1 hryvnia. Like you needed like 12 hryvnias for €1, something like that. So the biscuit was like 1.50, something like that, I think. And the guy just got the pack. He took off the price and he said €2.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, no, man, it was 1 hryvnia and 50, something like that. You know, €2. And I said, all right, I'm not gonna buy it. So I didn't buy it. But it was one of the bad experiences I had. I had lots of bad experiences there. The good experience was the people. The
Sure.
people that we were together there, they were amazing. You know, they were amazing.
Super cool.
Tour always brings some crazy stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can tell that, right, Jay?
Yeah, man.
That's nice. I like Europe too, but I've never stepped in the United States. This is something that I really want to go.
Yeah. You got any touring plans with the current band?
Well, touring, I don't have plans. I really have planned to go with my family. I have lots of friends there, man, in US. I have friends in Oklahoma. I have friends in Minneapolis. I have friends in New Jersey. American friends.
Don't forget Kentucky
Kentucky now.
and South
yeah.
Carolina.
That's great. South Carolina.
Right.
All right. That's great. That's great.
Make it happen.
Yeah. And I really want to go to, you know, just for vacation or something.
Yeah, that's
Some Brazilians want to go to stay. I don't.
Yeah.
I love my country.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's good. I think this is a nice time for US. Maybe some people will disagree. I think it's. I think in 2 years you guys are gonna be really good.
Yeah.
That's the
we'll
vision
see.
I have from outsider. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jay, what else you got, man?
You know what? I think the major questions I had are good. So you have a studio in your house? That's one.
It's not a studio. It's like just my computer and two monitors,
Mm-hmm.
mic. You know, that's it. I
You
don't
track
have.
at home. You track guitars at home and stuff, or do you go
Yeah.
to a studio and you do that?
You're talking about my studio
Yeah,
here?
do you record? You record guitars at home and vocals.
Oh
That's
yes, yes. I record the guitar and vocals here. That's how I do my tracks. You know.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's I do this here, and then I send to a guy. Now I'm working with a guy in Rio de Janeiro. He's amazing, Zacone. He made like the two last mixing and master, my two last singles. He did it. You know, actually, the last one to me was the best because I sent him all the files. The other one I sent missing something. We needed to do some magic, you know, to to fix some things.
And is he local to you?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, tell us one thing that somebody watching this, some fans and stuff, might not know about Angelo.
So I talked about the country that everybody maybe don't know about
Right?
that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think something people don't know. It's like I'm I love preaching, man, and I do this. You know,
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah, yes, and I love talking about the grace of God all the time. And people that walk with me, they they know that because every subject, every thing we are talking, I kind of started talking about theology or those kind of things. I love
Oh,
this.
that's awesome.
I read a lot.
Yeah.
Love reading. Yeah, yeah, love reading. I have some guys that I really love about apologetic. I think Josh McDowell is one
Okay.
of my
Yeah,
favorites.
love him. Yeah.
Like I like the way of Tim Keller, like Timothy Keller writes too. There are some good stuff about Timothy Keller. I think there is a book called Endeavors that it's really great to talk about faith and work. You know,
Sure.
it's something that it doesn't. I always talked about that until I get the book and I say, all right, I already believe that, but the book is really good. I love C.S. Lewis.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love, I love Tolkien.
Yes.
I
Yep.
love these
Good stuff.
dudes. Uh, difficult readings. Spurgeon, I
Okay.
think that
yeah,
I
that's
like a
amazing.
lot too.
Cool.
Chesterton. This it's a little bit harder to read, but I like that. Sometimes I think I'm stupid when I read these guys.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I think that, man. Like, I think that I love ranch life. I'm egg producer. Lots of people don't know, but people in my region here.
Yeah, you sell them
And
locally and everything,
yeah,
eggs. Yeah.
yeah,
How many
locally.
chickens do you have about?
Oh, it's just a few, man. I have
Oh, okay.
60. Yeah, yeah. It's a small business, a really small business that I do here because, as I said, if I wanna grow these things probably for the next year, but like I have lots of students. It takes lots of my time,
Yeah.
you know, and I have my family too. So we work together with this, of course. It's part of our life doing this movement, but I think more than like I don't know, 500 chicken, for example, to me would be really hard to take
Yeah.
to
Of
take care
course.
of
Yeah.
today.
Oh my God.
That'd be
You
a
know,
big operation.
One is
a
enough.
big operation. I have to deliver. I need to make these eggs go away, and it's complicated. And I know eggs in the United States is being really hard these days, right?
Yes, I'm actually planning on getting about 5 or 6 chickens just to produce eggs for my family because yeah, it's the cost has gone way up. But also gives my kids something to do, to help with the keeping up with them and all that type of thing
Right.
as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is a good thing, good idea. She's good. Yeah,
Cool.
man. I saw some videos of people even fighting in the supermarket, about boxes of eggs. It's
Yeah,
like,
crazy man.
what the heck is
That's
happening there?
crazy. That's
Yeah,
insane. Well,
yeah.
so cool. So, what is your favorite thing about being a Christian?
The grace.
Hmm.
The grace. I was a lost boy, man. Even in the church. I was someone that totally living for myself. You know, going to the church doesn't mean anything if your heart is in the wrong place. So I think when I understood the grace of God, when I understood this gift, that when Paul says that God, he gave us this grace while we were still living in the dark. I didn't do anything to deserve it, you know. So when I look to the grace, is something that's really huge to me. I'm gonna say that it's hard, even every time I talk about the grace, to me is something like that, because along of the years I was living God's grace. I did like good stuff, bad stuff. Everybody, I think, did your mistakes. Some people more, some people less, you know. And when you understand that and you see that God is giving you an opportunity again, you know. So if you are listening to me and you think you have no time, or you lost your time, or God doesn't care about you, you're gonna say that's a lie, man. Yeah. You have a chance any day, all the time. His grace is there to forget, you know, and to make you a better person. I'm not saying that the grace is something that I'm gonna keep living the same life I used to live. It's not about that. When we are reached by it, something changed in our mind, something changed in our hearts. I understand who I was. I understand who Christ is.
That's good.
And I understand that I need to die to myself.
Right.
And that I understand that in Christ I'll be resurrected. And that's it. That's the grace. We become a new creature. So we're not slaves of the sin anymore. Right. We are free from it. If we commit any sin, it's because we are being stupid, man. But we are free from it. We don't have to do anything of that anymore.
Right.
You know, people who doesn't understand the grace, they are still living that, and everything they do is a sin. But we, in Christ, is different.
Man, that's good. His grace is sufficient, right?
That's right.
His grace is sufficient. Jesus is sufficient.
That's right.
If we understand that, every single thing, every single step we take, every single word we say,
right,
every single job we get,
that's awesome, man.
You know.
Well, tell us one thing that the Christian metal community can do to support Torquetto.
Listen and share. I think sharing is the most important thing, man. Comment on the videos. You know, my YouTube channel there are the video clips, the music videos. You can go there, guys. You know, watch that. You know, click there and like. You know, give us a like and comment, and this make YouTube understand that's nice. It's gonna spread to more people the music. You know, Spotify or Apple Music or whatever the platform you use to listen to.
Yeah.
Please just listen to, and if you know some friend, share this to your friend. You know he likes hard rock, he likes this kind of song just
right.
You know, it helps. It's not even money, it's the sharing.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Well, thanks for your time, man. So glad we could do this.
Right, man.
And I really hope you gain some new fans from this, and we'll be promoting this out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thank you guys for this. I thank you, Jay, you know, you, Jimmy, for inviting me for this, and it's amazing. It actually took a while until we
I know, right?
we could set the right time.
It's
for
all
this.
good, man. Different time zones and all. We made it work.
Man, and everybody. You know, we are artists. We have lots of money and we have lots of time, right?
Right. Yeah. Jay said he's about to retire from doing these podcasts because he's making so much money.
Never that.
Man, that's a really good thing. Can you share a little bit, man?
Like no, I wish, man. No, not right
Share
now.
with your brothers. You're
It's
next.
so funny, nah, man.